Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in beautiful New Zealand. And we are going to be flying the Cessna 414 Chancellor by Flysimware, one of the best general aviation aircraft available today for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Before we delve into the details of our flight and welcome all of you guys to this live stream, we have with us Rand Cooley, my dear friend. Thank you very much for your continued support throughout and for being a good friend. I appreciate, my friend Arnold. Welcome aboard. I am not on the I'm on the East Asia server. But I have multiplayer turned off for the stream. Night at night. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much for your kind words there. James, welcome. Duncan, no worries at all, my friend. I hope you have a good day at work, free of stress, hopefully, and hopefully it ends up to be a productive one. We have also Phoebe C. Bemb, or V. Vic Bemb. Welcome aboard, and thank you very much for your continued support. All the channel members, very warm welcome. Thank you very much for all your support. Edge Mookin, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for your continued support. So, folks, today, again, continuing with our general aviation series, today we are on episode 3, and today we are going to be flying this rather beautifully modeled aircraft, both inside and out. And in fact, I think that this is one of the best general aviation aircraft. It was featured in my top 10 list of pair aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are currently at one of the handcrafted airports by Asobo, that is November Zulu Mike Foxtrot, and today we are flying to November Zulu Tango Lima. The bad weather here has subsided, thankfully, and but you can see that this is a very interesting area to fly from and around because of the high elevation mountains that exist in this area. But it should give us a beautiful and rather picturesque experience as we fly through the route to our destination, where we will be cruising at 19,000 feet, and we will gradually begin our descent towards our destination, and finally perform a visual approach runway 29er at our destination. Bill Scanlon, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Hector, welcome aboard. Good morning to you, my friend. Happy Sunday. Bad Skull Studios, welcome aboard. And thank you, Bill and Hector, for Edge, and for your support, being members here at the channel. I appreciate it very much. All right, so let's get things started. We're going to hop into the cockpit. Again, as you can see, very beautifully modeled cockpit by Flysimware. And this aircraft is under constant updates and development, so they really do pay a lot of attention to their products. Again, a quick look if you haven't seen this aircraft before. It's got a nice cabin with some interactive features. I think somewhere here. Let me see here if I can go. There we go here. Yeah, there you go. So you can bring those table trays out. And the cup holders, which is a nice feature. And the texturing of the aircraft is done to a very high standard. I really like this aircraft a lot. Of course, you can open the doors and what have you, but we'll consider that the passengers are already on board the aircraft for our flight today, and we're going to begin powering up the aircraft. First thing first, we're going to come here and we're going to set the... actually, before we do that, they now have put the iPad here. So it's very nice. You see the iPad holder attaching to the aircraft, and we can hide this, and we're going to turn on the battery and alternators, and now we can turn on the iPad. I do like what they've done with their iPad. You can select the equipment, so the ground equipment, you can select the aircraft state, the control lock, you can show the co-pilot doors and what have you. You can also go to you can see, look at the wind speed display here, and you get all the temps and all that good stuff as well. Cabin climate, you can check that out. You can set your load and balance visually, and you can add luggage. And today maybe we're just let's add. Let's see. We're gonna add Alicia and John to our aircraft, and then we're gonna go to the fuel. Now, this fuel is probably sufficient for our flight, but I'm just going to add a little more. Maybe we'll go to 65% on both tanks. Right here, 64%. And the left tank, we have now sufficient fuel for our flight. And finally, we have the full checklist, by the way, that you can perform by clicking on the different letters here. You have the numbers and the letters, so you can perform the full checklist for pre-flight before starting the engines. We're not going to do this today in the interest of time. Angelo, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Yeah, that's the GSX. It's definitely going crazy. All right, so we have everything here. I'm going to go ahead and remove the iPad, and now we can just click here, and you can remove it. Brilliant. Excellent. We're going to come down here and set the fuel tanks, left main and right main tanks. Excellent. And we're going to make sure that the cowl flaps are open. All right, which they are now. Excellent. And let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to turn on the anti-collision lights. Right, nav lights and anti-collision lights are both on. We don't need any of the lights here. We'll worry about the avionics a little later once we start the engines, and we are pretty much ready to start the engines. We're going to set the mixture to full rich, props full forward, and we're going to crack the throttle about 1/4 of an inch open, and then we're going to come here to the magnetos and turn them all on. Excellent. We're going to start with the left engine. So let me see, how do I want to show you guys? All right, well, I'll show you the left engine. We'll start with the right engine, and what we're going to do, put the fuel pump on high. That's the auxiliary, and then we're going to prime the engine. About 4 seconds or so is sufficient, and then we click here to start the engine, and there we have it. We have a good start, and we need about 1,000 RPM. So let me just bring this down a little bit. I really like the engine sounds on this aircraft. There we go. We'll take it down to 1,000 RPM. All right, we're good. Let's go ahead and start the second or the left engine. And for that, maybe you can see it here. There we go. All right. So we're going to put this back on off position and turn on the next auxiliary fuel pump and prime the left engine. And again, 4 or 5 seconds or so should be sufficient. And let's go and start it. I really like the way the engine starts. Kind of, there's a little bit of a delay as it rotates and then starts. Elaine, hello, my friend. Good day to you. Christopher, hello, my friend. Howdy from Phoenix. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. So we have a good start on both engines now. Excellent. We're going to set the pressure today. Our final cruise altitude is 19,000 feet. So we're going to set that to 19,000. We'll set it to 19,000. Excellent. Everything looks good here. And now we can turn on the avionics. Right. Avionics bus is now on, and we have our Garmin devices starting up. Excellent. And we're going to come now and input our flight plan. To do so, we are going to bring up our friendly Flow Pro and SimBrief panel, and we're going to fetch the flight plan. Airline and flight is Q8 Aviation 2574, and we're flying today from November Zulu Mike Foxtrot to our destination, which is November Zulu Tango Lima, with an alternate of Church Christ International. Cruise altitude 19,000, airtime about 47 minutes. All right, let's go ahead and start inputting our flight plan. We're going to set the origin airport, which is November Zulu Mike Foxtrot, and that's Milford Sound here in New Zealand. We're going to enter that, and then we're going to select the destination airport. The destination is November Zulu Tango Lima Tekapo Aerodrome, and we're going to say enter. Both airports, by the way, are handcrafted airports. Anthony, welcome aboard from Oxford, the United Kingdom. Thank you very much for being here, sir. Appreciate it. All right. So we have both the origin and destination airports. I love how you can see the elevation here and the track to the destination. As you can see, it's not a very far from where we are. 115 nautical miles for the Cessna Chancellor is considered a very short flight. Let's go ahead and add the en route waypoints. We're going to fly direct to D Pont. D Pont. And enter that. And then from D Pont, we're going to fly direct to Spawn 2. So we're going to say Spawn 2. Enter. And from Spawn 2, we're going to fly direct to Queenstown. So direct to Quebec, November. Enter. Looks like there's a couple. Queenstown, that's the one we want, which is in New Zealand. Brilliant. And then we're going to take Airway Quebec 787 to Mamus. So let's go ahead and click on QN and select Load Airway. And the airway that we want is the Quebec 787, which is this one here. Excellent. And we're going to exit at Mamus. Brilliant. Load that. And that is pretty much it. Then we're going to fly direct to our destination, and we are going to perform a visual approach at Tekapo Aerodrome. So we're going to select Tekapo, and we're going to say load procedure. Select the approach. We are arriving visual runway 29er, and we're going to say load the approach. And we are pretty much done here with the flight plan. Now, we do have a lot of mountains, so we have to be very careful after departure. Should be a fun flight. Mike Zoger, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. All right, all's looking good here, and we are done with the flight plan for the time being. Quick look at the weather here. Average wind, 263. Top of climb wind, 264.42. ESA deviation 4 Celsius, and TOD temp is minus 19 Celsius. Ooh. All right. No valid METAR at our current destination. If we go to the row format and scroll down to the weather, let's see here if we can get something a little different. Let's see. No weather. Absolutely no weather information. The only weather station we have, as you can see, is Church Christ International. So we don't have the weather information at either of the airports today, so we're going to kind of have to wing it, guys. But that's okay. All right, we're going to go back and we're going to select our map. And let me change this. I'm going to remove the remain. We'll just keep it on the topology. Easier to see with the color-coded map here where we are. And we are pretty much ready to go. All right, we're going to set our flaps. Right, so we can see the flaps are set here for takeoff. And everything else is ready to go. We're set the altimeter, and now we can turn on our lights. So we're going to turn on the taxi lights. Brilliant. Pitot heat we don't need. By the way, this aircraft circuit breakers are all modeled and functional. So very, very nice aircraft, really, by Flysimware. All right, let's take a quick look at all the indications. Oil pressure is in the green. Cylinder temperature is a bit in the cold side. So we can see both cylinders are a bit cold, so we need to warm up the aircraft. I think it should, we'll take it to give it just a little power here to warm up the aircraft a little bit. But shouldn't be an issue. We'll just give it a few moments here until we are in the green before we start taxiing to runway 29er for for departure. Randolph Slavin, hello, my friend. Good evening to you. We have you with us today from Manchester, United Kingdom. Welcome. Bill, do you use the TDS or PMS for the Garmin? So, Bill, I'm using the PMS 50, but I will tell you, if you ask me which one should you get, I would probably vouch for the TDS device. If your frames are, your PC is strong enough to take it, as it is resource hungry. You can see now we have the engine cylinder temperatures are all in the green. Fuel quantity is good, and EGT is good. Everything is normal, so we are good. The only thing we need to do is we need to set our altitude to 19,000 feet. So let's do that real quick. I think it's easier to just use the mouse wheel here. All right. So this aircraft is actually capable of, I think, 36,000 feet, although the normal range is between 19 and 25,000, or 15 and 25,000. That would be the normal range for the aircraft. Very capable aircraft, very powerful engines. So we are good to go. All right, excellent. So let's bring it back the flight yoke, and the taxi lights are already on, and we are good to go. Let's release the parking brake and head over to the runway. Parking brake is released, and let's give it a little power here. Very nice handcrafted airport there by Asobo. I really like the sounds. We need to turn this off. Right, you can hear all that noise, all that rumble was from the fuel auxiliary pump. All right, let's go ahead and turn on our landing lights as we enter the runway. In fact, the taxi is right over there, the taxiway, but it's very hard to see with all the snow. So let's just make a turn and follow the taxiway there. Lovely. One of the things I like about Microsoft Flight Simulator is the depiction of the snow season, the winter, and when you have snow over the trees. That looks really nice. I really like it a lot. Quick reminder, guys, to please support the Fly Lilo project. Again, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Fly Lilo project, it is a project aimed at helping the disabled in our community by providing them with adaptive gaming devices to allow them to enjoy flight simulation and gaming. The link is pinned in chat, and I would be very grateful if you can help the Fly Lilo project. You can learn more about them at their website. And you can also take a look at some of the devices they've already bought. They have a partnership with Xbox, which is, kudos to them for being able to secure a partnership with Xbox. This is really beautiful scenery here as we taxi to runway 29er. The runway, by the way, is a short runway. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold our brakes. Paul B, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. St. Kitts, hey, how are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. All right, we are ready to depart. We are at the hold short for runway 29er. I'm going to try to position the aircraft at the very start of the runway. We need all the runway to depart, but this aircraft again has very powerful engines. We're going to switch this to GPS, and there we go. Let's line up. Excellent. Now you can see the mountains right ahead of us. So immediately after departure, we're going to begin a right turn to avoid these mountains right ahead of us, and we're going to go through that little path over there because this area is all full of mountains, as you can see here. You see this? So there's no clear path to our flight plan through this mountain here. So we're going to just make a right turn and follow the water path here and then intercept our flight plan. All right, I'm going to hold the brakes and we're going to set thrust for takeoff. Listen to those engine sounds. Just absolutely brilliant. Right, and parking brake released. And we're gonna rotate at about 75 knots or so. Some wind there, we'll try to keep it on the center line. Right, 75, and rotate. Woo! Very short indeed. All right, here we go. Positive rate, gears going up. And we'll begin the right turn to fly away from the mountains. Flaps can go up. What a joyful aircraft to hand fly. And it's a handful to hand fly the Chancellor as well. Overall, very stable, very fluid aircraft with very powerful engines. Right, let's go ahead and climb a little more. Alright, so we're going to keep this path here as we try to maneuver between those mountains. We can expect a lot of turbulence as we, as we make it through those mountains. And then we should be able to intercept our flight path. How long does it take to prepare the new live stream with each new aircraft to learn? Takes a while, but perseverance is what it takes to to stay at it. Really, it's a job. All right, let me put the props back to 2500. We don't want to overstrain our engines. And I can definitely feel a lot of turbulence here as we climb. All right, I can give it more power now. Excellent, everything looks good. EGT is good, RPM is good, and manifold pressure is good. It's not in the green exactly, but that's okay. Right, setting the rate of climb is not bad. Right, let me begin our turn here and to intercept the flight path. As you can see, there's still a lot of turbulence as we fly between the mountains here. All right, good time to turn on the yaw damper. Flight director, autopilot, nav, and now the aircraft will, we're going to put IAS as well. The aircraft will climb to 19,000 feet, and we begin the turn now. As you can see here, all's looking good, brilliant. 19,000 is set. There is again a mountain range here as we make our turn, so hopefully we don't have to maneuver again. If we do, I will disconnect the autopilot again, and you can see here, yeah, very high mountains as we make the turn back. What a lovely sight of New Zealand. Just absolutely lovely. It's always good to make that long turn because it gives you sufficient time to climb sufficiently above those really high mountains. So we're kind of back to where we were, but at much higher altitude. So we're good now. Excellent. Excellent. Very turbulent air. Some of the mountains don't have very good textures in this Sim Update, World Update 12, but some areas are done really well. So it depends really where you're flying. I noticed that with the mesh, with the Orbx New Zealand mesh, that it actually addresses some of the problems in some of the areas. Right, we continue the climb to 19,000. Blackjack 62, welcome aboard, my friend. From the middle of Washington State. Yay, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Right, we're looking good. Continue the climb. What a lovely scene. Guys, look at that. Let's switch to external view. Yeah. It will look even a lot better once we are above, 10,000 feet. You'll be able to see the mountain range a little better. But we are doing well. We are climbing and steadily to our cruise altitude. About 42 nautical miles to Queenstown. And then we begin the turn towards our destination. It's a nice short hop to our destination today. And by the way, we can increase the speed here, so we'll say 150 knots. You will notice that the aircraft will pitch down in order to achieve 150 knots. Very lovely aircraft. The Cessna Chancellor, very, very immersive. I love the texturing and the overall 3D modeling on this aircraft here, as you can see. Just really done very, very well. All right, we are approaching 10,000 feet. We're going to turn off our landing lights, and everything else is looking in tip-top shape. Here's the first officer side. And very beautiful mountain range here in New Zealand. A beautiful country. And we can also look at the passenger perspective. Hey, there's Alicia and John sitting here in the back enjoying the ride. Welcome aboard, guys. Right, here we go. And here's a nice wing view for you. Look at that. So the Flight Sim Expo sponsors and exhibitors have been announced yesterday by FS Elite and FS Expo. If you haven't already seen the video, it is available on my Twitter. I have provided a couple of links, one to the video and one to the partners page as well. IFR Captain, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Connor, hello my friend, welcome, glad to have you here. Right, we continue now the climb to 19,000. On this beautiful day here in New Zealand. So I will be there, of course, in Flight Sim Expo with my little spot there. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I will be in HH7. That's going to be my exhibit location. Just across from Orbx. And to my side, Infinite Flight. It's going to be at the Lone Star Museum in Houston, Texas. And I really look forward to meeting all of you guys, particularly I'm looking forward to, Yeah, Bill, please come and say hello. I will be at H7, and I will be joined by a couple of people here from the channel. Rand, Cooley, and Stan are both going to be accompanying me. There will be delegates of the channel at the expo. Rand may or may not make it. He has some personal commitments that may prevent him, but hopefully we'll see you there, Rand. But Stan has confirmed, and he's going to be a delegate of the channel. Findus TTV, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. It's going very well. I hope the same for you. So, yeah, Bill, I really look forward to meeting all of you guys, and I'm going to be hosting a dinner or lunch, depending on which is more suitable for you guys, there at the expo. On the last day or maybe the day after, depending on when people are scheduled to leave Houston, Texas. But yeah, I definitely want to host a lunch or dinner for the channel supporters in Houston. Should be good fun, guys. I really am looking forward to meeting all of you there, and really looking forward to taking a look at all the good stuff. There is very, very interesting participants this year, so it's going to be really, really special. If you are interested in joining, again, the chat command should have already put the link to Flight Sim Expo. You can go there and register. Of course, delegates of the channel will enter free of charge to the venue, yeah, looking forward to it. All right, let's switch to the external view. I just want to show you guys here the beautiful mountain range here in New Zealand. Look at that. Yeah, beautiful. And you can see how, the weather change here. So you have snowy conditions here, but not snowy conditions there. And you see how the blend is. It's just really very, very well done. I love how Microsoft Flight Simulator depicts the world and the weather and all that. Just look at that beautiful view of our beautiful aircraft. Yeah. You can see her on her mobile phone right there. Back in the cockpit. All right, about 3,000 feet for our final cruise altitude. And let's take a look here. I'm not sure if this is the open or the closed position. Let's pull to close. We're looking good. RPM is good. And we are climbing at about 150 knots. Oh, Findus TTV, sorry, I didn't see your message there. So I think you've got the route now, so you know exactly where we're heading. Exciting times for flight simulation. I'm particularly in Flight Sim Expo. I am particularly interested in the hardware participants, and I really am looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us. I am looking to invest in a Boeing 737 cockpit, so I'm looking. If I can find a ready-made 737 cockpit that can fit in my office at home, I will probably go ahead and invest in it and bring it here and have a full simulator at my house. That's the altitude alert, but I'm again constrained by the space. Some of those simulators are quite large, but I do want to have a complete 737 cockpit at some point in time. And I thought that, yeah, I'll check things out in Flight Sim Expo. And yeah, look at this sensational view here from the cockpit as we fly over the mountains. Very, very nice indeed. Look at that. All right, so quickly, let's visit our flight plan. By the way, we can put this on terrain, for example. Yeah. But let's go real quick here to our flight plan. So the top of descent, we see here that we are at NZTL at 2476 feet. Okay. So we are at 19,000. By the way, at 19,000, we need to turn on prop sync. So prop sync is on, and we're going to ease off on the power here. We'll bring the manifold pressure back in the green. There we go. All right, so basically we are at 19. We're going to say 2,000 for 19, so that's 17, 34, 44, 51. So 51 nautical miles, we should begin the descent. So actually, right at Timju, we're going to begin the about 10, so about 30 nautical miles into, no, 20 nautical miles into Timju. We'll begin the descent. Okay, we can lean the mixture a little bit now. Excellent. Right, looking good. And we are not too far away now from Queenstown. So if we go back to our map and we'll zoom out. There we go. That's Queenstown right there. And then we're going to make the turn to Timju from Queenstown to Timju. And we need about 51 nautical miles, so approximately 20 nautical miles into Timju, we will begin the descent. So, of course, taking notice of the mountains and the elevation of the mountains that we have, we might need to do a couple of circles to, get to the right altitude for the visual approach. And everything's visual today, so we're going to have to rely on good weather conditions to be able to land. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. Well, when can you come visit? When can we come visit? So, Bill, I'm going to be available. I will arrive into Houston, Texas on the 21st of June. So a couple of days before Flight Sim Expo. Just to kind of, it's going to be a very long flight from Kuwait. It's going to take me about 24 hours, a little more than 24 hours for the entire trip. So I do want to make sure that I get there at least a couple of days before to sort of, kind of just relax a little bit and rest. I know it's going to be a very intense 3 days. I believe it starts on the 23rd through the 25th, so it's going to be 3 very busy days. And I do want to make sure that I'm in full energy for the event. So yeah, I am going to arrive on the 21st, and you can come and visit me there at the expo. And I'm staying at the DoubleTree at that time, so probably I will host the dinner there at the hotel. Of course, I'll give you guys all the details once I meet you there. For the channel delegates, of course, I'm going to share with you guys my phone number, so you'll be able to contact me via, different, WhatsApp or, whatever application is there. So yeah, I'll figure this out, as we get closer to the date. I'm also preparing some goodies to for the delegates, as well as for you guys who will come and visit me at the booth. So I'll have some nice things to give you. Yeah. I mean, visit you at home to fly your 737. Oh, Bill. Morning to you, James Minton. Morning Kuwait at 7 a.m. in New Zealand. Yeah, that is correct, James. I changed the time just a little bit so that it's not too dark, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to enjoy the beautiful mountainous terrain here in New Zealand. And speaking of that, by the way, just look at this, guys. Look at this beautiful sight here of the mountain range here. Just absolutely gorgeous. All right, so we are, let's see, if you fly, Bill, if you ever fly to Kuwait, give me a ring and I'll invite you to my home and have you fly the 737 simulator. How about that? Abby, hello, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us. I think this is the first time I see you on stream, so welcome aboard. And welcome to the Kuwait Pilot family here on YouTube. All right, so we are approximately, 38, so at 30 nautical miles distance from the station, from the next waypoint, beg your pardon, from Mamos. We will begin the descent. I am very aware of the mountain range here as we go across. So yeah, there's definitely lots of mountains. So I'm not exactly sure. All right, so this is Timjo. So this is actually where we're going to begin the descent. It's at Timjo. Just a little bit into Timjo, we'll begin the descent. Still quite a way to go. Yeah, all right. So just after Timjo, we'll begin the descent. So let me just zoom this out a little bit. There we go. There we go. All right, perfect. We are, by the way, flying in Queenstown. Now, Queenstown is somewhere here, somewhere below us, somewhere probably over there. That's Queenstown. And this is just really a beautiful looking sight of this really beautiful country. Wow. I had a good friend and a colleague at work from New Zealand. He left us a few years back, Mike Bust. Mike used to be the head of facilities management where I work here in Kuwait. And he was really, really a nice guy. One of the nicest folks I've met, in fact, here in Kuwait. A very nice guy. All right, we continue now to cruise at 19,000 feet. Everything is looking pretty good. Our manifold pressure is good, RPM is good, and EGT is good. We have the cylinder temperatures both in the green for both engines. Oil pressure is good, and everything is looking good. Oil fuel quantity is perfect. Airspeed is good, and we are looking in a very good condition right now. No complaints whatsoever. By the way, this aircraft has beautiful night lighting. Maybe I'll show you that once we arrive into our destination. Yeah. Where are we right now? By the way, we are still in standby, so we can stay just on altitude reporting. There we go. Okay, NZMF. So lots and lots of nice airports in World Update 12 by Microsoft. And by the way, today I was watching both V1 simulation and 320 Sim Pilot. Both of them are real-world Airbus pilots, and one of the things I really it builds again my confidence in my reviews and as a content creator is when I gave the review of the Tolus A320neo, I had no reference, so it was my own evaluation of the aircraft, only to come and see that V1 Simulation and 320 SimPilot both vouch for the aircraft and say some of the exact same things that I've said about it. So I'm kind of very glad. Of course, that's what I normally do. I don't watch any reviews before I do my own to protect the integrity of my opinion. So I don't, I'm human in the end, and sometimes I can get influenced by what I hear. But so normally I refrain from watching any videos before I make my own. And yeah, I was very happy to hear both of them say some of some exactly the same things that I was saying. So very, very glad about that. Just gives me again more confidence in the experience that I have gained over the past 8 years creating content on YouTube. So I'm very happy, definitely. Findus TTV, I think V1 is streaming with the Tolus currently. Yes, he was doing it. He's having one of those really long streams. He was doing engine fire and really putting it to the test. And how do you like my new profile pic? Well, I can't really see it. It's very small on my iPad, but if you like it, my friend, keep it. Solo Simulations, hello, my friend, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. Mogo, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here. Q8, how did you get the GTN 760 to work with this plane? Is this a payware app? This is payware. This is PMS50. It's the GTN 750, and it is by PMS50. There are two Garmin GTN 750s available today for Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is one of them, which is the PMS50. There is also the TDS GTN 750. This device is built kind of native for Microsoft, so it's a natively built device for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so from a realism perspective, it's not as per the real device in real life, although it is a very close match. It does miss some functionality, and as you can see, the display is not very sharp like the real unit, but it serves the purpose. It works, and of course the TDS version, and it costs, by the way, a little more than the TDS version, but the TDS version has a lot better visual display, and it's got all the features that you'll find on the real Garmin device. As a matter of fact, it is based on the real Garmin device and requires the Garmin trainer to be running on your machine for it to operate in this sim. So that's that. And once again, guys, if you are, if you're feeling like being helpful today, I would be extremely grateful if you can donate to the Fly Lilo project. A project aimed at helping the disabled in the flight sim community and the gaming genre in general with adaptive gaming devices provided by Xbox. And you can go to the Fly Lilo website and check out what they have been doing and what devices they have. I want to thank Scott, Niels, Rand, Stefano for their donations. Very, very grateful for you guys. Thank you very much for supporting Fly Lilo, and I hope that that we can, hit our target of 1,500 euros for this, for this fundraiser for the Fly Lilo project. Hard 5321, welcome aboard. How are you doing? Stuck doing paperwork, but been accepted at a flight academy, so in a few months the fun begins. Hey, Hard, good for you, man. Congratulations. Excellent. All right, we can definitely notice a little bit of turbulence. Now, once we pass Timju, we will need to begin our descent, and you can see that the mountain range is just covering the entire flight route today, Look at this beautiful scene, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful country, and how beautifully depicted in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well. Very, very nice indeed. And by the way, folks, if we do reach our target of 1,500 euros for this fundraiser, I will be hosting a giveaway here on the channel, and I will be giving away 3 copies of the tallest A320. And if you were in our previous Bonanza stream, my son had joined us that day, and he wants me to do a giveaway and put the red arrows there. So I'm going to include that one as well for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane. It's going to be a mixed giveaway, a range of aircraft and several copies to kind of, you know, I know that people have different tastes and different, so in order to accommodate different tastes, I will have the giveaway hosted for both Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane with a different aircraft. Right, we're approaching Tomjo right now, and we will begin the descent shortly now towards our destination. And very high mountain range in New Zealand, but I tell you, it's a real joy to fly this aircraft. There we go. And that's Tomjo, and this is where we're going to start beginning the descent. So I'm going to reset our altitude now to 2,000. Actually, we can go to, that's the heading. We can go to maybe 3,000 feet initially. Let's see here. Right, 10,000. Right, 2,400. All right, perfect. So that is set. And now we can go to vertical speed. We can go to vertical speed, or we can put IAS and reduce power. So we can click IAS, and now we ease off on the throttle. And what the aircraft will do is it will descend to maintain the speed. There you go. You can see the aircraft descending now. Or we can go to vertical speed, and that's 1,000 feet per minute. So we'll leave it there, and we'll just manage our speed. And we have a new donation to the Fly Lilo project. Thank you very much for your contribution. I appreciate it very much. That's very kind. All right. So we are now heading back to, we are descending. So what we're going to do, folks, is I'm going to reset the altimeter, and I'm going to turn off prop sync now. And we'll continue the descent. Reduce throttle a little bit. Right, we'll leave it there. Manifold pressure is good. RPM is good. And maybe we'll increase the rate of descent just a little bit to 1,200 feet per minute. Here's a look at the outside. We're actually getting pretty close now to our destination. This is just really a sensational view of New Zealand. All right, we continue the descent. I'm going to increase our rate of descent just a little bit to 1,500 feet per minute. Wow, what a beautiful sight. Take care, Fenders TTV. All right, 1,500 feet per minute, and we should be at our destination in approximately let's see. If we go back and go to the flight plan, so we are at Namos, and you can see that we are actually very close now. 15, about 20 nautical miles before we are at the visual. We should be fine in terms of our altitude. We're looking good. We're going to go and zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Excellent. In a beautiful mountain range here. It takes some practice to fly in New Zealand, especially with the big planes. So I find actually GA aircraft to be more enjoyable, but they can, by the way, they can be extremely challenging in adverse weather conditions. But the airliners, because of their sheer size and speed, it's very, very difficult to fly the big planes in New Zealand and to maneuver, you know, with all the mountains. Here, this is where we are heading. So let's see. Why is it not allowing me to go? There we go. All right. So that's the. Yeah. All right. There's a bit of an elevation in our path, but hopefully we'll be fine. We will decrease the rate of descent as we get closer because we want to avoid this little mountain right here, or a small elevation. There is slight elevation there, so we want to make sure we avoid that. It is in our flight path, but overall this is what things are looking like here. You can see we are off the mountain range and looking pretty good. Yeah. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and turn on the landing lights. And we can reduce the rate of descent to 1,000 feet per minute. We'll give it a little power here to maintain about 170 knots or so. The airport should be, that's not what I wanted to do. So if we go here, so this is the path to final. So actually we are kind of, sort of a little too high still. So let's go to 1,500 feet per minute, that's okay. because we are almost there. So if we look at the restrictions, so from Mammoth, we're going to go to straight, and then it's the final. And if I look here, we have about 10 nautical miles. So definitely we need to descend. Our speed is excessive at this point. Well, not that bad, but we are a bit too fast. Thank you very much, Abby. Take care. All right, so the airport is somewhere over there, and it's going to be a visual approach. Thankfully, the weather is quite nice, so there are no clouds. Visibility is very good, so we should be able to bring it nicely and land. You can see there's a little bit of elevation there. But nothing too serious right now. And that's the turn right there. We're coming up to about 5,000 feet. And that's final there. And then it's the airport. That's the airport right there. Once we are on final, we will disconnect the autopilot. It's about 4.7 nautical miles. We're kind of a little bit too high. And we're going to probably have a little bit of trouble slowing down the aircraft. Still unable to see the airport. Right, here's the turn to final. There you can see it. I can see the runway now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the autopilot, and that's the runway there. Let's go ahead and lower the landing gear. And if we can't make it, maybe we'll go around and make a turn, come back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. At the brakes. And we made it right at the very far end of the runway. Woo! Yeah, we kind of steered off the runway there. Thank you, Rand. Fast landing, yeah. What is this guy doing here? That's not a place to have this truck, but that's okay. And how about we park the aircraft right by the hangar here? Right, parking brake is set. Excellent. Thank you, Saren. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, my friend. All right, and we're going to come here, turn off the lights. Landing lights are off, taxi lights off, anti-collision and nav lights are all off. We're going to turn off the avionics, and we can now bring the props back and the mixture. And finally, we can turn off the magnetos and turn off the batteries. Now we can bring up our iPad and turn it on. We can go to the chocks, plugs, tie down, static, pitot covers, and we don't need the GPU. And we can put this back here. Come on. All right, there we go. And now we can take a look at the aircraft from the outside. And there you have it. Yeah, it was definitely a fun flight flying here in New Zealand. Our next flight is going to be this coming Tuesday. So I'm going to be taking the day off tomorrow, and I will see you back again on Tuesday. It's been a lot of fun here today flying the Cessna Chancellor in New Zealand. Definitely brilliant. The aircraft is a brilliant aircraft. Highly recommended. It will definitely immerse you in the flying experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It was rated as one of the top 10 payware aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator here on the channel. And that's it for today's stream. Paul, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with the GA series. I might, because there are a couple more aircraft that has received significant updates that I'd like to showcase here again on the channel. But I will probably run a poll and get your opinion, guys, on what you'd like to see next. So that brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much for your donations to the Fly Lilo project. Thank you for your support. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you all very soon. Stay safe, and bye-bye for now.